Hey everybody, it's Alan, and I hope you are doing well. It's time for another episode of my journey into the discography featuring the band The Warning. This has been guided by the kind people of the Warning Army, which is a wonderful collective of fans who've just been so nice to me through all of these videos, sort of guiding me and giving me suggestions in this direction or that direction. And frankly, it's a big reason why I started doing multiple versions of each song in each video. So we're going to do the song When I'm Alone. But before I get started with that, I'd like to talk real quickly, hopefully, about my video that I did featuring the song Creep. It had an acoustic version by Radiohead. It had a live but not so greatly recorded version of the band Government Mule doing it. And then Pow's incredible piano version. And I got a lot of comments telling me that I made a mistake by cutting off the last few seconds of the video. And I really do welcome all of your comments. I welcome every single one of them. I read every single one of them. I try to remark or comment back on every single one of them. I beg you to read the other comments. So frankly, it doesn't sound like I'm getting pigpiled on by people telling me that I made a mistake or that I should go back and rewatch it or that I shouldn't have cut this off or cut that off. Truth be told here, I'm here for the music. I'm not here for the little reactions and stories around the songs that might be in the videos. If they show up, if they're there, great. But you got to understand how much time and effort it takes to edit and put these videos together. I'm sitting here watching the timing bar on the bottom of every video at the very end, trying to get to the very last second before it flips over to the next video so that I don't accidentally start another one before I'm done talking about what I just saw. And it's not as easy as y'all might think that it is. And I do appreciate all the commentary, but if you see somebody else saying, you know, you should have watched the last 5 seconds of the video, feel free to add a comment to their comment. But it's a little frustrating since I'm not doing this. I'm not getting paid. I'm not doing this for money. I don't really care about money. I don't really care. I'm doing this for fun. And the second it stops becoming fun, frankly, I'm going to stop doing it altogether. So just please read the other comments. I'm sorry if I came at a few people in my remarks back to them saying, look, I'm tired of this. Stop. I work for a living. I have bad days just like everybody else does. And though I may have taken that out on a few people a little bit, maybe aggressively, and I do apologize for that, I do really appreciate the respect that other people have shown, and the kind nature of this audience has been just really special to be a part of. And so I don't want anything to sort of give me a bad taste when it comes to doing this. I'm really enjoying it. And again, I don't ever want to not enjoy it. Okay. And with all that said, I hope you understand what I'm trying to get across, even though I'm stumbling through it. I do apologize. Without further ado, here's When I'm Alone.
But I only see in black and white. I'm desperate for some light in the corners of my mind, having hope but not enough, reaching out to find no one. Am I the only soul to have lost all control? It gets hard to breathe, stuck in between our words, has to become my fake reality, and there's no escape from the voice in my head. It's driving me crazy. Nobody understands. My sanity's not going to last, and I'll smile on through the night. Everyone will
Those are some really, really mature lyrics for such a young lady or ladies to compose. And at the end of the day, I think we can all relate to the fact that we all have those moments looking back upon our lives and wondering what would have happened had we made a slightly different decision at any given point. I can think back about one decision, I mean, one really bad decision I made back in the 1990s, probably somewhere around 1995 or so, that shifted my life in a direction that it was not meant to go in. Or I could completely see myself living in a completely alternative life than I'm living in right now. I live in California now. Back then I was living in Massachusetts. If I had made a different decision at that point, I could still be living back on the East Coast. I might have a wife and a bunch of kids. I was at the time dating a lady who was working on becoming a teacher. She's now a principal of a school district. I live in California. I work for a major music store company in the heart of Hollywood. I see a whole bunch of famous people. I've become friends with some of them. I am single. I live alone, and again, I can point directly to that moment and realize exactly where my life split off into a different direction, a different fork in the road. And you sit there and you can't help but necessarily think about those moments that altered your life's path and wonder what could have been, what might have been. And again, you could be living a very happy life. You could be living a very sad life. You could be living a very mediocre life. But I think we all look back at those moments and think, did we make a mistake? It's human nature to question our current reality and wonder if we had done something different, what would have happened, And it happens in all sorts of different things. It happens in, if I had discovered The Warning 5 years ago, would I have seen them 15 times already? If we had chosen a different political path in 2008 or 2016 or 2024, would things be different for the United States and for the world at large? If we had done something different, in high school, if we had learned a different trade, if we had spent a little bit more time paying attention in a particular class, if we had asked that other person out, that girl or guy out at, when we had initially wanted to, but we were too shy to, would we be living in a different existence? If we hadn't have said something that we said that upset somebody, that broke apart a relationship, broke up a band, whatever it is, would we be living a very different life? And though there are people who would sit there and say, don't dwell on the past because there's nothing you can do about it, there's no time machine, there's that other side of things that says we must remember our history and our past so that we're not doomed to make the same mistakes twice that we've already made. And it's a very, very poignant lesson to learn.
Black and white, I'm desperate for some light in the corners of my mind, having hope but not enough, reaching out to find no one. Am I the only soul to have lost all control? It gets hard to breathe, stuck in between on what has become my fake reality, and there's no escape from the voice in my driving me crazy. Nobody understands. My sanity's not going to last, and I'll smile on through the night. Everyone will think I'm alright, but nobody knows what I'm tracking
See, look, I'm trying to make sure I get every second of the performance in for y'all so nobody yells at me. Sorry. A lot of you might be wondering, what the heck's he doing looking over there, looking over there? Well, some years ago, I got this gigantic Hershey Kiss container, and this is what I've been storing guitar picks in for probably, I don't know, 25 or 30 years. Actually, probably 30 or 35 years, because it's kind of a cool container. It's, glass, and it looks like a gigantic Hershey's Kiss. Don't know where it came from, but I got it. The reason I was looking in there was because I thought I had a Dunlop stubby in there, which it looks like, judging by what I am seeing in this video of her guitar, her mic stand, that she uses stubbies. Not stubbies, I'm sorry. Yeah, no, stubbies. They're Dunlop stubbies. God, can I find a still picture of it? I don't know if I can. There it is. Oh, God, it's not really a good angle because the light's not hitting it quite right. But those picks look like Dunlop stubbies. It's a really thick pick with a center point in there for your finger to grip onto. And there are people who gravitate towards them because they create a texture that allows you to not drop your guitar pick. And I didn't have one. I just didn't. I have a 2mm Dunlop in here, which is the pick that I preferred. I bought about a half gross of these. When I was probably 14 years old, and I don't drop picks. So I still have about 2 dozen of that half gross, and I use them quite regularly, but I don't drop them and I don't wear them out. And so anyway, I digress. Watching this live performance, I love the way it's set up. I love the way it's set up for her to play sort of solo, and then the band drops in before the second verse. The audience has this really wonderful interaction, and it's just has a really, really great live performance. With that said, let's go to the next one because I was totally distracted by the guitar picks.
Well, I've color on the outside, but I only see in black and white. I'm desperate for some light in the corners of my mind, having hope but not enough, reaching out to find no one. Am I the only soul to have lost all control? It gets hard to breathe, stuck in between on what has become my fake reality. There's no escape from the voice in my head. It's driving me crazy. Nobody understands. My sanity's not going to last, and I'll smile on through the night. Everyone will think I'm alright, but nobody knows what I'm tracking along. I'm about to tear off this page, but it's something I can erase. I wish I could rewrite the story of my life while I hide every day behind the mask. There's pain. They say I'm not alone, but do they even know? It gets hard to breathe, stuck in between on what has become my fake reality. And there's no from the voice in my head. It's driving me crazy. Nobody understands. My sanity's not going to last, and I'll slide on through the night. Everyone will think I'm alright, but nobody knows what I'm tracking along. Ciudad de México, canten conmigo. Nobody understands. Un poquito más fuerte, Ciudad de México. Yo sé que pueden. Nobody understands. Una última vez. Nobody understands. My sanity's not going to last, and I'll slide all through the night. Everyone will think I'm alright, but nobody knows what I'm dragging along when I'm alone. And every day I'll try to keep my feelings hidden inside, but nobody knows of the hole in my soul when I'm alone. Muchas gracias.
Wow. Wow. That has hit me harder than I thought it was going to. I'm really torn up. I don't know if I like the solo acoustic version better than the previous live version where it started off with her playing alone and then the band joining in. And that guitar solo in the original studio recording is phenomenal. I'm really torn up. I love this acoustic setting. I love the message that she was giving in the interlude in the middle of the song. I've talked about depression in other videos, so I'm going to try not to go there, but it's one of those things where we've all had those moments where we feel alone, where we feel like we're questioning our past, where we're questioning our life's decisions. As I mentioned before, we got into the second version of the song after I heard the initial studio recording. And I always urge people, if you're feeling those moments of questioning whether or not you have worth or, why things have happened to you, or you're questioning your life. And if you ever spin into those darker times where you're actually thinking about doing something to harm yourself or others, that you reach out and talk to someone, because as much as you think that you're alone, you're not alone. And I guarantee you there are other people who understand what you're going through. And though they don't necessarily have the answers to the problem or to solve the issue, they do have the ability to have empathy and hold your hand, verbally, mentally, whatever, so that you realize that you're not alone and you're not the first person to go through certain situations, and that there is life beyond whatever it is you're feeling at that moment. And, again, there are phone numbers to call. I during my lowest point had to go to the emergency room and just talk to a therapist. And it was unbelievably freeing to actually have that sense of, wait, okay, I can get through this. And clearly I have. Hell, I've battled depression ever since I hurt my arm about a year ago and realized that, I am alone here in California. All my family's back on the East Coast. All of my old classic friends, they're all back on the East Coast. I haven't seen or talked to any of them on a regular basis in a long time, except my family, of course. And though the internet connects us, it also shows the distance that we actually have as they live their lives doing stuff that's wonderful and fun with family and friends. And you sit here and you're just you. And so I've had those moments battling those feelings and come to realize that I am stronger now than I've ever been before in my life, but I'm still isolated. And there are things I need to do to try to work myself out of that bubble. And I'm slowly but surely getting there. I don't know if my life will ever be how I envisioned it when I was younger, but it's better than I feel that it is when I'm in my darkest moments. And I just urge anybody that's struggling with any kind of depression or anxiety or loneliness to realize that there's more in this world than just what you're thinking you're seeing at that given moment, and to, again, reach out for that hand, because it's there. There's a hand ready to pick you up. There's a hand ready to pull you out of the dark. You just have to ask for it. You have to seek it, and it will be there. It will be there. So, God, that brought tears to my eyes in more ways than I care to think about. Anyway, I'm just going to end this right now, because I could ramble on about emotions and feelings, and I've said a lot, and there's a helicopter flying overhead that's bothering me. So please feel free to leave a comment. Just know that I appreciate all of you. I truly do, including everything I said before the video started, everything that I said in the preamble to watching the first version of the song. I appreciate every single person in this warning army, and I just, thank you for being you. Feel free to leave a comment. We can talk about it further. Just know that I appreciate you, and I wish you well.